and go. All right. Hi, welcome to Roll With It RPG. Tonight is Vampire the Dark Ages. It's been, according to our chat here on my screen, 209 days since we last played. Uh, if you're still watching, thank you. If not, please come back. All right. Well, when we last left our nascent coterie, they had just finished combat with a as Asmir uh, assassin by the name of Rashid. And to put things simply, Casper in bear form handed him his ass so greatly that he turned to dust and is no more. Uh, During the fight, he managed to kill Paul III and place Tiffany, cousin of Oscar, into Topor.
That's hurtful that you didn't remember my name.
Your name's Oscar.
It's Oliver.
It's Oscar now. It's been
You're a
200
grouch.
days, man.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
Oscar, I'm gonna become a grouch.
Oliver's cousin. I do apologize.
I broke him.
Asmodeus hid the body of Paul III in a local mausoleum, along with all of Rashid's gear. Was also placed into the tomb to try to hide the evidence of their battle, with the exception of the large puddle that Paul left behind. Uh, when the combat commenced, there was an earthquake that rocked all of Jerusalem, and to the eyes of those with auspex, our players saw a ghostly essence rise up from the spot where the Fives was slain by Rashid. There was some uh, attempts to move her, uh, move Tiffany from the combat zone to uh, Dragomir's clinic. Success was eventually achieved, but it did take a bit. Uh, Dragomir had to treat Tiffany's wounds to make their transport a little easier, since they're going to be forced to fully carry her instead of we can get Bernie's it, as I put it in the last session. Uh, so when we fully left off, uh, Asmodeus was in his haven alone. Tiffany, Oliver, and Dragomir were in Dragomir's haven and clinic, and Casper was wherever he felt like it, as he can earth melt. So that's where we left off. However, where we're starting with a new player, Dastan. Tim is playing Dastan. You may recognize him from our Friday games. All right. So
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't suck for you. It's so far sucking for Patrick.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's my roles have been on par with my DM roles on Friday nights. So
yeah, I mean, if I roll like I do in D&D, I'm golden, man. I mean,
so last night, just before the urge to slumber came upon you from the sun's rise, you experienced an earthquake. It was not powerful, but it was noticeable enough to shake your furniture, your bookcases, any little knickknacks you have on tables did a bit of a jitter, but didn't fall and break. During your sleep, however, the earthquake seemed to resonate in your dreams. Not only did each dream have an earthquake and repeat itself, certain elements began to creep into your dreams. Uh, the streets of Jerusalem, a full lake of blood, rivers, and then the earthquake would happen. They would seep into the drains and disappear. The city being racked by crusaders and mercenaries, everyone being attacked, and then suddenly this earthquake stops it all. And they all flee in terror over the possibility of being crushed beneath buildings. But the dream just before you woke up, you find yourself standing outside one of your establishments. You're looking around. You can feel eyes upon you, but you can't spot the people looking at you. You've got that someone staring at me. I can feel it in the back of my neck, but I can't find them. Women and children are running, screaming past you. You can see fires burning mere blocks from where you're standing. Crusaders, soldiers in both knightly armor and the chainmail of local defenders fight in the streets as this chaos is erupting around you. When you look to your feet, there is a thin layer of blood covering the soles of your shoes. And then when you look to your right, there is a man. He's a crusader. He's wearing a white tabard similar to the ones that Templars wear. There's even the Templar cross, but in the center of it there is a lily instead of just the cross. And he looks at you and you feel yourself drawn to him, and as you approach him, the earthquake strikes yet again when it rumbles. And you find yourself jolting awake in your bed. There's a feeling of melancholy and anger. You can feel it weighing down on your chest as you've awakened, but you can't pinpoint the source of it. You just know it's not a result of the dream that awoke you. So, what are you doing? By the way, spend a blood point. Every vampire has to spend a blood point when they wake up.
How do I do that?
All right. So on your sheet, down at the bottom, you have a blood pool, which it looks like you need to roll for. So click the D10 button, roll a number of dice, and roll a D10 for me.
How many numbers am I? Just one?
Just one.
Do I change the difficulty on this at all, or just?
No, it does. You can put the difficulty to 1, because we're just looking to see what number pops up. 10. Nice. All right. You have 10 blood points.
So do I just fill in 10 spots?
Yep. You should be able to click on the 9th spot to fill it all the way up. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. Now that that's out of the way, you are awake in shock, sitting in your bed.
I will get up, dress myself, and I will go visiting my establishments to see if anything is amiss.
Okay. Uh, oh, so you have this page, this page, domain of 3. So you have 2 or 3 places that you would have for business. Your choice.
I think I had 3. I had one higher one, one lower one, and then my private.
Gotcha. Okay. Where to first then?
I'll visit the lower.
Okey doke. You get there. It seems to be business as usual. Nothing seems off in the way any of your uh, courtesans are working at the ground floor as they're enticing customers. The customers don't seem off. They seem a little more energetic, more excited than you would expect, even though your business is dealing in excitement. Would you please make me a alertness roll using your perception?
So click on perception.
If you click on alertness, it'll give you the attributes to use with it.
Perception.
The difficulty's 4, because it's
4.
fairly active here. Nice, 6 successes.
I have no idea what that means, but Pat's like, of course.
Unless it's a contested roll, the only thing you need to actually succeed is 1 success. Any additional successes are bonuses potentially to what you're attempting to achieve.
Okay.
In this case, you're overhearing the talk amongst your servers and their prospective Johns and whatnot. It seems sometime during the morning, after you had gone to sleep, the well of Hezekiah, which is found along the western wall, it wept blood, but instead of it being like a full stream of blood in the water, there were literal drops, like droplets of blood that you could scoop up into your hand. And as the well bled, the 4 guards that have been watching over it for the last month or so ushered in an elderly gentleman in brown robes that these guys, everyone's calling the well cleaner. And he took a bucket and swept all the blood into it and then left as if it was no big deal. You also hear stories of it being proof of the sanguine prophet, that his appearance earlier for the first time a month ago was a declaration of the return of Jesus. It's the only thing it could be. There's talk of other mad prophets of blood popping up all across Jerusalem in different spots. Some are cemeteries, others are just outside the Wailing Wall, or in random spots. At one point, he appeared in the wine cellar of a tavern before the tavern itself collapsed. And this is all the tales that you're picking up from your workers and the people that they're entertaining.
Okay. I guess. Do I know how far away the well is
The
from where
well
I'm at?
from your current location.
Yeah.
Give me an intelligence survival. Difficulty 6.
Intelligence add survival?
Uh-huh.
Or survival add intelligence. You said 6.
3 successes. Uh, it doesn't take long on foot to cross the city. Maybe hour and a half, 2 hours tops. From your current location to it, maybe 20 minutes. Like if you hoofed it a bit.
Okay. I think I'll go take a glance around and then make my way towards my other establishment after that. So,
Okay. So on your approach to the well, the first thing you notice is that even though there is always some sort of activity in the city at night, it is rarely around places of any type of faith or holiness beyond those that should be found there, the priests, the rabbis, all that. But here, uh, there is a line, a very long queue of people, all with candles waiting to get to the well itself. There are more guards. There's usually 4, or there has been at least 4 for the month, but now the armored presence has increased to 8 or more. There's definitely a lot of movement on their part. And there are ragamuffins and the homeless, each attempting to sell tchotchkes or uh, holy relics, as they claim it, to anyone willing to stop and buy as they wait their way to the well itself.
I'm not gonna wait in line. I'm gonna skirt around.
Okay,
Just I'm just trying to get a view. I'm not really trying to go up close to it. Just trying to get a view of it.
gotcha. Give me another alertness perception roll.
Difficulty.
6. If I don't state a difficulty, it's probably a 6.
Oh, okay. I just default to the 6. Got it.
Yep. 3 success. All right. It's not hard to find a decent angle of it, even past all the people crowding it. The well itself is about 20 feet by 15 feet and almost a deep uh like cistern that's fed by a natural spring. uh Someone has just like layered flowers and uh candles around the entirety of the outside edge of it. You can't make any view of what's down in the cisterns, being that it's so deep, but the water pouring into it is, from what you can tell, clear. It looks pristine. There's no debris even within 10 feet of it. This well cleaner who came and cleaned up the blood, but comes always, has kept it well tended. It seems that the only additions have been tonight's additions from all the looky-loos, onlookers, and worshippers that want a sense of this ever-growing holy site.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I mean, if I don't really spot anything that catches my eye, I'll move on.
Okay, doke. And you're are you heading to the upscale one next?
Yeah, I'll head upscale.
Uh that one's a bit uh further north, just past uh man, my brain just farted. Just past the find the map. That'll help. Uh the new gate in the Christian Quarter, which is north of where you're at now. It's technically located outside the wall, but this is a heavy freighter transport area. A lot of money comes through this gate, so it's a good spot to have it. When you get there, it's a lot the same as it was at your first one. People talking about the well, the earthquakes. Some of them mention strange dreams of what they think was just this past crusade, because what they saw crusaders and fighting in the streets of Jerusalem. A couple of them make comments about how that's just the restless dead. It was 100 years ago there was a massacre, and every time there's an earthquake, the dead come back to haunt us as they always do. It's a lot of more people claiming superstition than actual interest in what it is. But other than that type of talk, it appears no different than what was happening before. Business as usual, as it were. Would you make me a occult wits roll, please?
An occult wit roll. Okay.
2 successes. As you're standing there listening to the chatter, a couple thoughts hit you. You know of a local merchant, a zealot of a man who has a collection of books on not exactly this type of thing, but subjects that might broach this, wells bleeding, prophets, dreams of such odd port that you had. And you also know of a local Canaanite, a bit of a pain in the butt. He's known for being somewhat of a problematic person, but your men and ladies like him. He's friendly and kind and tends to know the odd thing or two and is easily approachable. Whereas the other man tends to require you greasing some gears to get to see him.
I'll try the K9 first then.
All right. So are you heading his way?
Yeah, I'll head his way.
All right. I'm going to put you on pause for a wee bit and head to Dragomir. Dragomir.
That's okay.
So somebody else, somebody that will fail the rolls. That's what you're saying. You want to switch to.
I mean, I'm primed. I'm primed. I have to not kill people.
You had your usual, well, as of recently, usual daymare this morning. It reoccurred several times, each time ending with you feasting upon the the boy in the catacombs beneath Jerusalem with 4 other crusaders. And each time you've woken up. This last time, this dream, you awoke shouting Requiesco. The same thing that Fives was shouting before he met his end at the hands of Rashid. I need you to make a self-control roll.
Okay.
So before you roll,
Mhm.
your last 2 meals were animal-based.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the difficulty, it's usually 7, but because you've not been feeding on people, it's 9.
Nice.
But last night, after the death of Fives, you were overwhelmed with a new derangement of melancholia. That reduces the difficulty to 8.
Cool.
I believe in you.
And then I can use willpower, correct?
And
You said?
yes, you can use what you can spend it now or after you roll.
Spending it after I roll would just...
It would allow you essentially on a reroll. Spending it now would guarantee a success.
Spend it now. I feel like that's the better option.
Awesome.
All right, so I click on thing and it's just so it's self-control and then use willpower. Is that right? Or do I just by using the willpower is it just successful?
Yeah. Hit use willpower,
Okay.
and then no. Oh no.
That's what I was. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Oh no.
a botch. That's a really. What?
Okay. Up until now, the few times we've been in your clinic, in your apothecary, we've just kind of rolled with an amorphic description of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now the layout, it's a little more important.
Yep.
So what's it like on the inside, and where would you have Tiffany and Oliver set up for their time with you?
Okay. Well, I mean, my clinic is set up in such a way that it's 2 primary rooms, which one is just a place where people come in to either sit. I have 2 chairs that are set out there, wooden chairs, and not in great shape because I just kind of take whatever I find.
Right.
And then I have my, what I guess you would consider an examination room where I have a wooden table that's just set up, as well as a place where I keep my tools of my trade. So Tiffany would be set up there. And then I have a separate back room, I guess, which would be my little haven area, which is bigger than what I need. But so I would assume that Oliver and I would probably both be back in that area.
Okay.
Unless he wanted to be in the lobby area. So
I would have been wherever you put me.
okay.
Do you like sleep on a floor mat? Do you have a bed? How's your sleeping arrangement back there?
I'm the big spoon.
Yeah, he's. I just have a floor mat because I didn't ever bother to spend for a bed for myself, just because comfort for all intents and purposes is kind of negligible. But
Right.
but yeah, so no, I have a mat on the floor.
A floor mat? Okay, okay. So you wake up screaming Requiesco, and you are overwhelmed with hunger. It's primal. It's deeper than any hunger you've ever felt while alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the very thing that taints your soul, driving you to eat and eat now. Just right there in the room with you is Oliver,
Yeah.
asleep, unmoving, unwaking, as if in this state, just the corpse he is. And you know that he has the vitae, the thing to shut your blackness up, to silence it. All you need to do is eat him.
I mean, he's a child of Cain. I'm sure he's done terrible things to deserve it, obviously. So,
I mean, Asmodeus definitely has. We know that for sure.
yeah,
It's a good assumption, maybe.
yeah. I mean, I know he and I have worked together in the past, and he's done good things. But okay, so I'm assuming this is more of a compulsion than a choice at this point.
You can attempt to resist it. It'll be another roll.
Yeah.
Difficulty would be higher.
Then the 8. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it requires yet another roll, you will find yourself compulsed to do
Okay.
it.
I will attempt to restrain because I do know that Oliver has helped others in the city. Others of our kind, for the most part, or anyone that he can help. So I don't think he's deserving necessarily of being consumed. So yeah, I'll attempt to roll to avoid.
All right. Give me the self-control roll.
9.
9.
Okay. Am I able to use willpower again?
Correct.
Okay. Is this using the second of that 2 bonus that we had?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Well, that's just a regular failure.
Cool.
You fight back. You try with all your being to do so, but the more you try to edge away from him, to try to move to a point where his presence isn't the temptation to feed, the urge begins to gnaw stronger. It's, you know now that if you cannot control yourself, it is going to be Oliver or Tiffany.
Okay.
And I gotta be honest, a breakfast at Tiffany's joke is just lurking in the air.
Just right around the corner. Would I have the presence of mind to, I guess, just rush into the street and find something else? Prevent myself from doing this?
You could.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna just dash out of the clinic into the night air and find someone.
Okay. This is going to sound counterintuitive, but if he doesn't want to feed on Tiffany, you're going to have to spend a blood point to make yourself run fast enough out of there that you won't be tempted to do so.
All right. Spending another blood point. Excellent.
How many is that left?
3. So,
I've seen worse.
yeah. Well, I started with worse.
Yeah.
I started with 2, I think, at the very beginning.
Then he ate some poor girl at a party.
The slums outside the Dung Gate are almost always active. There are the dregs of society prefer to come out at night so that they're not bothered by those who are waking, to avoid the sneers, jeers, attacks, and all that. But they also come out at night to hide from God almost. The darkness cloaks them in a manner that it cloaks you and all the other vampires. When you come dashing out your entrance, there is waiting a mother and child. Across the street, like just across the path, there is your neighbor, is best to put it, is an elderly gentleman that at some point lost his leg. He says it was during the crusade, but you know that by his age, he wasn't fighting during the crusade. And he's too old to have fought in the last crusade, or too young, because he'd be dead if he done that one. So, and then there is, of course, a few dogs that are always running about the neighborhood, and a couple, rats and a cat trying to catch its own breakfast. Why don't you roll for me a d10? And if it is 9 or 10, it is your awaiting patience. And if it's anything below that, it's your neighbor.
Cool.
Yep.
My neighbor.
It's your neighbor.
He was a liar anyhow. Knew it.
Poor Mr. Rogers.
All right. The scan is quick. The beast has you focused precisely on the man, unable to run away. And you leap across the pathway onto him and begin to ravenously attack his chest and neck in order to try to get at the needed blood that you've been denying yourself for so long. Screams erupt from behind you. You can hear a few coming from down the way. The dogs begin to bark at you as you feed. The cat hisses and runs as fast as it can. What is your strength?
I think awful. 2.
2?
It's not awful. 2. Yeah.
All right. So your
question for you here. Since the beast is taking over, do you think it would be appropriate that I would either spend a blood point to increase strength in order to make sure that this thing could not get away from me?
Possible. You still maintain yourself, even if this compulsion is beyond like your control.
That's
bit
fine.
like Rorschach when you're running from something, the frenzy caused from fear. Like your mind is there, but the beast itself is making you move, not you.
Okay, that's fine. I won't then.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So your initial attack wounds this man gravely. You get 3 blood points, as you normally would, from your initial feeding. It's like a fine wine, one that you had years ago, but you've not tasted in forever. It'll light your senses. Every bit of your nasal cavity is filled with fresh copper. Do you try to stop? You've had enough in you now that you could potentially stop. Because you do know that if you don't stop the beast, this man will die.
I think it would be within within Dragomir's personality, he would not want to kill this man. So he would stop.
Okay. You've fed now.
And flee.
The difficulty is 7, reduced to 6 because of melancholia.
Okay. Gonna roll.
Nice.
Okay.
Those successes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you managed to pull yourself away from him. You've left mauling gashes from his neck to just below his left pectoral. He's bleeding out. His eyes are lolling in the back of his head, and screams continue around you as he gurgles before you.
Yep, I think at this point he would probably flee through the gate out of the city.
Okay.
Pretty much in horror at what he's done and losing control once again, and the voices that torment him and saying he's nothing more than a monster resonating in his head and assaulting him.
True. Usually those speak when you feed, but those are usually chosen feedings. You've decided to eat this time. You knew you had to, so you picked a person or you picked an animal. At the moment, the beast is drowning those out.
Okay.
Simple memories of their taunts is what's writing in your thoughts at the moment. But occasionally, you hear his voice. He pipes up. I was a soldier. I protected you all. Why? Why?
All right.
You awaken to the sounds of screaming. Dogs barking like crazy. The thin walls of Dragomir's shack do not insulate sound at all. What are you going to do?
First things I would do is look around for Dragomir. Like everywhere within the clinic.
Also, don't forget to spend your blood point. His sleeping mat, it's empty. The small bit of fabric he uses for a cover has been tossed aside. Looking into the exam area, things have been knocked over. It looks like something the way paper catches behind a runner or a car. fluts about a bit before it settles. It looks like a gust of wind shot through his clinic, knocking all the little things over off tables. The table that Tiffany's currently resting on has gotten slightly catty cornered from the wall that it usually rests against. The simple wooden slats that act as his doorway have broken as they were knocked open, and as you peek out to see the ruckus, there is a man less than 10 paces away from you, throat gashed open, legs missing, though they look like they've been missing a while, bleeding to death,
I thought I smelled blood.
gagging, gasping, the occasional excited splurt and gurgle from his throat.
Close the door. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. And there's other people around, right?
Oh yeah. People are starting to approach very slowly, very trepidatiously, but people are coming closer.
I'll go outside. I'm just the closest person. I'll go up to them and be like, "What happened here?"
It's an elderly woman that you approach. What languages do you speak? This is important right now.
Well, I'm assuming like one language because, I'm not. I don't have any extra dots.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I gave you a merit, and it's gone. Nice.
What'd
Okay.
you do
They
that
didn't give us
for?
like linguist or something.
I
or
gave everybody literacy.
lit-
So under your merits, add literacy.
Merit.
And if it's not on your guys' sheet, please add it. Literacy allows you to read the languages you can speak and Latin. So it adds Latin to your languages.
Okay, I have Latin.
So Latin and English.
Yep.
You have no idea what this woman is saying to you. It is excited. There's a look of terror on her face. She keeps spouting the same word over and over and over again. It's the way she spits it, it feels like if you had to take a stab, the word would be monster. But no idea. Just pointing at the man dying, pointing at the shack, pointing down the roadway. Just a torrent of the same things over and over and over again. None of it makes sense to you.
I don't know what any of that means. That's what I said to her.
Okay. From the inside, as you're trying to listen to this woman, you can hear Tiffany groan. Because even though she's not going to wake up, you know that she needs to feed as well.
Well, shit.
I'm gonna put you on pause now.
Okay.
Casper,
Yes.
where did you lay down for the day again?
Under the dead man. No, I'm just kidding.
Right under Paul. I just found a spot in a alleyway that doesn't look like people go down it much, and just hop right in.
Your internal clock wakes you as usual, as it does for, all vampires. You release yourself from your earthen slumber. And the night is cold. There is a whisper on the wind, you could say. You can hear talkings of people as they pass the alleyway over the well of Hezekiah, bleeding. The earthquake last night. Someone calling for the some sort of authority, the Crusaders, anybody, but not really knowing where that emergency is coming from. And you still find yourself nearby the cemetery where the fight with Fives took place, as you didn't have a whole lot of time, considering the sun was approaching quickly. So what would you like to do for tonight?
Well, I should probably get back with everybody, but I definitely need to feed first. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me spend a blood point. There we go.
How are you looking on that front?
I got 5.
The 5? And your humanity?
Is 7.
7. So yeah, please make a self-control roll. Because your humanity is so high, your difficulty is 6. Yeah, 1 success. You can feel the gnawing of the beast. It would prefer you to be much fuller than you are this evening, but you're under control.
Well, I'm going to fix that shortly anyway. Let's go find something to tap that back down in there.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't want to like frenzy and hurt someone, That'd be terrible.
That'd be awful.
That'd be
Well-
ill-advised.
I wouldn't want that on my conscience.
No. Especially not some old guy. Fenceless guy.
Oh yeah.
Better than Paul bringing someone a child, though.
That's very true. I'll agree with that. All right, there it is. So what is your hunting tactic for tonight?
I'm gonna go find me a drunk. Yeah.
Taverns are easy. You frequent them. I mean,
Mhm.
are you
Maybe.
going in your other identity, or are you just
Nah. No, I'm like looking outside, like looking for people that are like heading home, kind of a.
gotcha? Nope, that's not it. All right. Are you searching for a particular class level of
No,
eating establishment, both for you and for
Yeah.
them?
let's go low. Let's go low.
All right. Give me a. Okay, so that skill doesn't exist yet. So give me a wits survival roll. Difficulty is 5.
Hmm.
It seems it might be a bit too early in the evening to find those plastered enough to meet your prerequisites, or maybe you've just chosen the wrong establishment.
The pickings are slim on this side of town. I'll go to the other side of town.
Okay. Uh, try again. Difficulty goes up by 1 for having failed previous, and it also goes up for having to change basic location.
Mhm.
So the difficulty will be 7.
Oh, so it went up by 2.
Yep.
Okay.
2 successes. You find yourself in a nicer-ish portion of Jerusalem, an area where people can afford to start laying back a few earlier than others. And right there, outside a stable, puking his guts out, laying kind of on his side, is an easy target.
Best kind.
Yes, it's not
I'll
the
do
most
the
appealing, but it does the job. All right, give me a perception stealth.
There it is. Couldn't find stealth. Nope,
It's under
not
skills.
that one. Da.
With 3 successes, far as you can tell, no one is watching you. No one even notices this man by the stables.
In that case, I'm gonna mup it over, and so he won't notice me either.
All right, you sneaking up on him?
Mhm.
Dexterity stealth.
No, that's a lot worse.
He is drunk, so that's in your favor.
He's also distracted by all the noise he's making.
Very true. Allow me to pull up a mortal. That's a good one.
So will that lower my difficulty or raise his?
It is going to. Let's see if he even has a decent roll against it. Yeah. It is going to lower your difficulty. So it's a 5. I'm still going to roll against you, so you're going to need more than he gets.
Success.
1 success, 3 successes. He does not hear you in his retching state.
Rawr.
Taking just what you need, feeding heavily, what you going for?
A little extra, but not too much.
It's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
All right. It's not a problem. He's drunk enough that he might not remember what's happening.
But he's having a good time right now.
He is. The kiss is extremely pleasurable while it's happening. Unless someone's being like really ravenous about it, just tearing into a guy.
Or they got really jagged teeth.
Also true. All right. Give yourself your 4
Right.
to 5. What are you doing now? You've fed to the beast's contentment, though you could technically have room for more.
Oh, I got room for a lot more, but I'm just maybe a nightcap later. But for now, I should probably go check on the others. They weren't looking so hot, so I'm gonna head to Dragomir's
Heading to the clinic.
clinic.
All right. I'm going to jump on over to Asmodeus. You your haven, like many Nosferatu havens, is almost like a blown up rat's warren. It's partially dug in, it's full of refuse and debris. But there's a section of your hovel, your warren, where there's now an empty spot of trash where Paul would sleep when he wasn't needed at night, or would do his best to keep busy while you were sleeping, when he wasn't having to run whatever errands you'd had him run during the day, like the spying on the bakers and Baxters over the past year. But even though you're a corpse, even though you don't notice the temperature of the air unless you put effort into it, brought sensation back to each of the individual nerves in your hairs. It is colder, lonelier in here than it has been. Last night, Paul was killed. What are you doing after you wake up? Please don't forget to spend a blood point.
I did.
Okay.
And I spent my 3 blood points to heal completely. Also,
Okay. How you looking on blood pool?
I have 5.
What is your road score?
5.
Oh, so you're A-okay. That's good. So as you awoke, as you looked at the empty spot in your home, you willed the injury in your throat to heal completely. Something that is exceedingly taxing for you. It's a habit you're going to have to get used to again, at least for a little while, so you can find a new Paul, as it were.
Well,
Sorry. Please make a alertness perception roll.
two successes.
Being that the the Nosferatu's havens are clustered, there's a bit of a a buffer, as it were, to the outside. Your neighbors, might have thrown a high enough pile of whatever to block out noises, or maybe they've dug a new tunnel and that's creating enough of an air cushion that it's sounds wouldn't normally get to you. But this night you can hear a ruckus. It's not close by any means, but you're able to determine that whatever it's coming from the direction of Dragomir's clinic. That it's within the same slums that you find yourself in, but a bit of a distance away.
I kind of just meander out and take in what's going on outside to see if there's anything. I would assume there's alleys, and I'm actually looking for somebody to feed on.
Okay. Give me a wits survival roll then. You are in the slums, so the difficulty is 4.
Four successes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, the commotion is making it easy to find food this evening. There are plenty of people moving back and forth past the entranceway of your domicile. They're definitely running from whatever is causing the commotion, but you're surrounded by your pick of whatever you wish to feed on.
I will
Women,
start
children,
to.
men, there's animals, dogs, lots of rats, whatever you wish.
I'll just try to take just a decent sized guy and lead him kind of push toward an alley with him, like a nearby alley.
All right.
Kind of try to direct him to run this way.
Gotcha. Well, I see a change you need to make to your sheet. There, I fixed it. You must make the bane of all Nosferatu rolls a first impression roll to get the gentleman's attention.
Do I need to make a roll? It's an auto fail.
You still need to get his attention though.
Oh, okay.
So make an appearance. Oh no. All the ones I would call for you are empty.
Yeah.
Let's go with etiquette since it'll give you 1 die. I was like, appearance expression. Nope, he's got nothing there. Appearance empathy. Nope, got nothing there.
1 success.
You managed to get his attention. He's kind enough to stop, even though you are, to most people's continents, hideous. Beyond description, but he stops. He actually sees your attempts to get his attention and comes over and looks at you and what languages do you speak?
Uh,
Because the slums will have a Mod Podge of
the two basics.
what's that mean?
uh, l-
English and Latin.
yep, yep. That's it.
I see it on
Well,
your
Latin and wherever you're from.
you don't understand a damn word this guy is saying, but it's coming out in a caring tone. So you know you've got his attention. Make a manipulation. I'm going to have to say expression. A manipulation expression roll to try to maneuver him into the a nearby. It's not really
Would-
an alleyway in slums, but it is
like an alcove.
the equivalent of it, where it's the space between one shack and another.
Would well reasoned apply?
Is that your specialty under manipulation?
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I
have
see
to
it has
go-
been hiding from the monster.
I'm
Or hiding from whatever that he's running from. Since I don't know it's a monster. Sorry.
right. I'm going to have to go with no.
Okay.
It's easier to do it when you've got like a rapport with someone, but you have like almost nothing to grab a hold of with this guy.
2
You
successes.
successes though. Yeah, you're able to with hand motions and some croaking words, because it has been a while since you've actually spoken. Your body's not used to it. To get him to follow you, to give him the impression that he's needed, that you need him to do something for you, and you're able to pull him behind one of the shacks near your entryway into your home. It's fairly secluded. If someone were to get to any high point, they'd be able to see you, but it's away from a road. It's not directly on the walking path that cuts through your neighborhood. But yeah, you're able to hide him away, as it were.
So I will use the silence of death.
So everything goes quiet. The barking of dogs, the screams, the yells, the orders that you could hear being yelled in the distance, all of it just goes silent. It is a void of sound where you're currently standing with this gentleman, and he notices like that everything just goes absolutely quiet. And he quickly looks in the direction he came from to see like if he could pick out what's causing.
Rar.
Okay. He's not drunk or helpless, so you're going to need to make a dex brawl. Oh, you got nothing there either. He is not being defensive at the moment because he doesn't realize he's in trouble. So yeah, difficulty 6.
2 successes.
Yeah, you're able to grab a hold of him and pull him into to bite him as he's looking away. All right, I would need you to make the same roll again, but at +1. You should, on your combat page, have fangs.
I do.
Click that.
Oh, hey. 4 successes.
All right. Quicker than he's capable of reacting to the attack, you latch onto him, and you're able to begin to feed. How much are you taking from it?
I'm gonna take about 4.
4? You have efficient feeding, correct?
I do.
So is that 4
Four.
after having fed, or
4,
and double?
and then I get the extra 2.
So you're getting a 6 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to do anything to try to take care of the fact that he's going to remember? And it's right now, it's the time, it's a time where vampires can flaunt their power. I mean, but you live in a city full of zealous crusaders, people of a holy nature willing to descend on monsters if they're there. So it's not always the wisest to just let things hang. So, how are you going to deal with the witness?
I don't remember what this one does, and it won't like show up for me.
Is it
Oh.
your disciplines?
It's the spirit's touch.
That allows you to read the history of an object.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what that did.
You could try to force this guy into Pauldom.
Mm.
You do know that to get the level of loyalty that Paul gave you, though, it takes not
Time.
direct consecutive drinks, but 3 drinks from you, and you can't really force them one on top of each other. But you could ghoul this man in hopes that the euphoria of the power from vampiric blood makes him seek you out tomorrow. Or you could kill him, stash the body.
I think I'm
could-
gonna.
Pay him. Coinage keeps people from talking sometimes.
I think I'm gonna feed him some blood.
Gonna force ghoul him.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have sweet blood.
That one of your merits?
Yep.
Blood.
So it won't taste bad.
Okay. It's going to be a contested roll. It'll be your it'll be your strength brawl versus him. Same roll. His difficulty will be higher because he is currently being fed on. It's difficult to fight the kiss. So his difficulty will be an 8. Yours is still a flat 6.
Oof.
No successes. Once. You are surprised by his will to live. He's able to push beyond the exaltation of being fed upon and shoves you aside and begins to run out of your cone of silence. You can't hear it, but you can see on his face he is screaming. So as soon as he passes that barrier, things are going to escalate quickly.
I'm going to spend a blood point and use celerity to catch him.
Okay. There is no combat. I'm not going to pull one up, but roll for me initiative to see if you can react faster than he can. You can indeed. Yep, that 12 is definitely faster than his 7. All right. So you spend a blood point and activate your celerity.
Yep.
There is a surge of strength and energy across your whole body, and you
I'll just attack him again.
like a coiled spring. Right. Make another dex roll. Here's a good question. Are you just going to go at him teeth first?
I'm gonna go at him, like jump on him teeth. Like what I want to do is I want to drink enough rogue he's gonna pass out.
Gotcha. So just click fangs again. 4 successes. He is going to attempt some defense. It's bleeding out. Difficulty's higher. Less successes. You're able to grab a hold of him with ease and bite into his shoulder and start draining him of blood. How much are you taking from him now?
Take another 2 to try to get him to pass out.
Okay. As you begin to sup from him a second time, he drops to his knees and then collapses just outside the silence bubble. And as you're feeding from him, you can hear ragged breaths. You can feel his heart slow, and you know that this man is on the verge of death.
I'll drag him back behind where we originally went.
Okay. Give me a strength athletics roll.
3 successes.
Successes. That's not right.
Yeah, how's that right? I only have 2 dots.
It's the right number of dice. It's in the wrong order. It says you have 2 strength and 1 athletics, and it's 1 strength, 2 athletics.
No, I only have 1 athletics on my sheet.
Oh.
Are you sure you're not looking at mine?
No, I was looking at his, but I was reading alertness above it.
Hmm.
Okay. It's even if we take one of those, any one of those away, it's still success. You pick him up. It takes a little more effort than you would like, but you manage to pick up a portion of him and drag him back behind the shack and drop him where he's at. Are you
I'm gonna lick the wound closed.
okay? He's got a couple now. First bite, second bite.
And then I'm still pretty close to my house, right?
Oh yeah, you've not gone far.
Do I have any? I don't know if I have any alcohol in there or not. I'm sure Paul might have had some, but
I need you guys to quit saying stuff. It's blocking my ability to get to the roll stuff. All right,
Just
higher
you just
level.
can't look at Discord at all. Like you can't do it when you're.
I'm not. It's just that every time you guys type something, it pops up right over where I need to click.
Welcome to my world on Fridays.
Higher low.
Low.
Can't work this time. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna go with Paul has booze.
Okay. I will grab Paul's bottle of booze and go back out and pour it on the guy.
Okay. It's not a lot. Paul is not an overly excessive drinker, but he did drink on occasion. Usually those occasions happened after having to dispose of a child. But
He was a good Paul.
he does have some left, and you pour it out on to this unfortunate gentleman. Are you doing anything else?
No, I'm gonna go towards the clinic where I heard all the commotion coming from. I have my hood, put my hood up,
Right.
wipe my mouth off.
I'm going to jump back to Dragomir. I need to find something first, though. As far as you know, you've just killed someone.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not where it's at. What is your road level?
My road. What'd you say? My road.
Your road level.
My humanity's at 5.
You might need to make a humanity roll.
I'm ready to botch it again. It's fine.
Wow, don't
It's
say
just-
that. Okay, come on. Find it. Okay. Oh, I just saw that. Found it. Nope, you're good.
Okay.
You are far below what you would consider a good person. You
All right.
know, you've unfortunately killed enough that this moment, even though you're devastated by the act itself, the thought of having killed another almost begins to feel like the way of things should be. It is the natural way of things. People die. Sorry, Peter. The sounds of screaming are far enough behind you that they're quiet enough to be mistaken for bird calls in the distance. The sounds of like handbells and heralders trumpets still occur. You can hear that chaos clearly enough that no authorities are being called towards your clinic. But at the moment, you are standing in the desert. Just the wind and the start, the sliver of a moon lighting the area around you.
All right. Well, I will take a moment and not that I can, but stop myself from the hyperventilating type of state that I would be in. And realize that I'm in control of myself again. And I will move around the city to come in through another gate at this point, instead of going back to the same one that I just ran out of, where the body is.
Gotcha.
And see if I can't make my way towards either the graveyard where we were last. Yeah, I'll go back towards the graveyard where we were last night.
Okay. Give me a wits stealth.
Oh, that'll be good. That's my stealth of 0.
You are assisted by the lack of bright moonlight, so we'll
Okay.
say the difficulty is 5.
Okay.
Ouch.
I can't get away from the ones. I can't.
You realize with these rolls, you're not trying to hit me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Your plot armor is safe. Don't worry.
Mine grows thicker, though, apparently.
Mhm.
Uh, the cemetery that you guys were at, it's it's a little inside the Zion Gate.
Mhm.
The There's a growing collection of Christian cemeteries in that area, but it's also early in the evening tends to be the remnants of a quickly what was quickly put together like bazaar. People have thrown out rugs and goods and they're selling, and you as you approach to try to work your way in there, you realize that it's too busy to come in through this gate right now, and was a bit of a mistake to come here considering that you're a bit gore covered and there are now lots of people that can see you if you don't act quickly.
Right. Okay. I will. Am I close to people themselves, or am I
No,
just still out of range of people, basically, and
you're
just
out of
catching some
range
looks?
of people. Yeah.
Okay. Gonna go great, but I will attempt to like make it look as if I came in the wrong spot and like just realized like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be down the street a little bit, and try to turn back out and head back out the same direction I came in.
This isn't where I parked my horse.
Yeah, I'm in gate 2B, not 3D.
Gotcha. It's it's a manipulation subterfuge roll.
Oh yeah. Cool. 6 normal.
Mhm.
Nope.
At least it's a normal failure,
Yeah, it's a normal failure.
not a botch.
That's
At least you're
surprising.
consistent.
I am consistent.
All right, let's see if anyone notices. People do see your John Travolta, like, where am I impression going on. You are too far away for them to make out a lot of detail about your personage at the moment. Uh, but people are now watching you.
Okay. How many people do I have looking at me, I guess?
Oh, I it's this way because I can't seem to do it on the computer right. There's just two.
2. And my incubus humor's ability just affects one person. Is that right?
Uh,
So it doesn't really. I mean, it just says that the target.
you could can try to target both of them. I would increase the difficulty by 1.
Okay. I'll give that a shot and just try to make them apathetic.
Okay.
So, what would be the
Their willpower, if they're mortals.
yeah, willpower.
Your difficulty is 4. So with the increased difficulty, you're trying to do more than 1. 5.
Okay. 2 successes, so it lasts for an hour.
Yeah. And you're just trying to make them
Not care.
not care. There, you can see it cross their eyes as you kind of reach out and just barely touch the madness that sits in everybody and temporarily just flick away their emotions, and they go from being interested into what is that weird guy doing to listless and just kind of almost confused, as if like they don't know what to do now because there's nothing to draw their attention.
I just know I ruined someone's dinner date that they were gonna have here tonight. You know, some anniversary. But yeah, as I watched him just turn listless and not really care, I will exit back out again
Gotcha.
and kind of look at myself and go, "That was really stupid." Going in while still covered. I will attempt to find some way to clean myself off. Either look for a pool of water or anything I can do to kind of clean off my face at least.
Sure.
'Cause I'm sure my clothes are still covered.
You're a smart guy. I mean, you're not like wilderness smart, but you know how to handle yourself a little bit. So make me an intelligence survival roll to see if you can figure out a good place to go to try to do that.
Okay.
Near where you're at.
All right. Analytics would not apply to this, correct?
Actually, I would say it would.
Okay. So 3.
The you know that the Zion Gate is built near, it's very hilly, and the hills tend to be like smattered with jagged cliffs. And at this time of night, you know that if you were to search those areas, you'd be able to find the remnants of a pool of water.
Okay.
Hiding underneath there to be able to clean yourself up.
All right. I will head that direction and try to clean myself up as best as possible.
All right. As you're cleaning yourself up, I'm going to jump back over to Destan.
Mhm.
All right. You know that the Cainite brother Bernardus, the one that your employees like so much, likes to hold his own little form of church services out of a burnt down stable household combination that is in the Jewish quarter, just outside of where it begins to kind of mingle with what the Christian section of town. It's near like the remnants of an older wall, as if it were at one point this place had built on the outside of Jerusalem and now finds itself in the city as a whole. And it's down an alleyway. You know, there's only one or two lamps along the roads that you've been told where to find it. And as you approach, you can hear a man wailing. It is the sobs and cries of someone who just lost a family member. It's that level of sorrow in their cries. You can the pain of a lost loved one is what comes across. And for the briefest of moments, it's beautiful.
It is.
The level of love and caring that needs to have in someone to feel that level of pain as they at this loss temporarily has your attention, but it's not intriguing enough to draw you to it, as many beautiful things tend to for a Toreador. The closer you get, the more you realize that it is coming from this abode. Someone on the inside is feeling an immense amount of pain.
This is our brother. What was it?
Bernardus.
Bernardus. I'll enter in.
On the inside, just inside the doorway, you see there are three men, each dressed like an approximation of a monk's outfit. It's a brown-ish robe with trashed rope for a belt. They have crucifixes, but they're all broken. Some of the rosaries are lacking beads. Each of them weeps, but right in front of them is Bernardus. He's a heavy-set, balding man. He's on his knees. Blood pours from his eyes as he wails and cries into a ragged piece of cloth. Something that, in what little light you have, you can tell is filthy and covered in old blood on top of what he's adding to it by weeping onto it. You also know that for a vampire to even cry at all, they have to make a concerted effort to spend blood to do so. It is a mimicry of life and takes effort to achieve. So whatever is driving him to this moment is far deeper, perhaps, than even for a mortal, because he's using life-giving blood to do this act. And he seems too distracted to have noticed your entry, but the three men behind him stop and make hand signals to suggest that you need to back up as one breaks off to approach you.
I'll step back.
Uh,
Just, listening to the beauty of the pain that is going on.
the man approaches. He's young. He has short brown hair. There is an attempt to appear occidental, but it's rough and badly cut. He says, "Could you please step outside for a moment?"
Sure.
He follows you and looks around awkwardly, takes long glances down each of the ways too, and then asks, "Are the others with you?" You've no idea what he's talking about.
No, they are not. I am here alone to see Brother Bernardus.
He's suffering at the moment.
Yes, it is a beautiful night to suffer.
The Lord saw fit to take someone dear to him last night. We were hoping that his friends would come by. They've been by the last few nights. The loss of the prophet is more than he can bear.
Prophet? Who did he lose?
His name was Five. Another man of God, as is the brother. He was murdered, and we know his friends did not do it, but they were looking for him, and we were hoping they would know what happened.
Well, I do not know of these friends that you speak of, but I'm sure they will turn up at some point. I'm here, I guess, for a different reason.
Perhaps we can rouse him from his sorrow to be able to help you if we cannot. May we offer you refreshments?
Sure.
Please. I welcome you into our home. He opens the door enough for you to slip in, and as he follows behind, he goes over to a wall, and on the floor there is a pile of moldering fruit, a hunk of cheese, and an empty bottle of wine. And he picks up the cheese and brushes some of the dirt off of it and peels some of the obviously overly moldy portions of it and offers you the cheese.
I'll take some and just set it next to me.
Okay. How can we help you, sir? Oh, I'm so sorry. I've failed in hospitality. My name is Thomas. This is Paul and Timothy. We are the brothers' family.
Is one of them stretching still? No.
Nope.
Damn.
He has a unique derangement himself, but has not received the advice to stretch today.
I am Destan
Just on.
Martel.
Ah. We've heard of you. The brother speaks of your family often. He says they treat him kindly.
That they do. I was hoping that he might help me, as I had a strange occurrence, and I wish to know more about it. I wish to know more about the well of Escada,
Hezekiah?
Hezekiah, as it has wheat. And I have had dreams of crusaders and blood in the streets, and I wish to know the meaning of them.
Well, and they look to the brother, and he continues to wail and begins to rock back and forth while cradling this piece of cloth. We don't know about the well's weeping, but you are like the brother's friend. Or at least, well, one of them. They too have been having dreams of crusaders and blood in the streets. They came here originally with the brothers beckoning to try to stop it from happening again, to defeat infernalists that were attacking our brethren in the open. The two behind him, Paul and Timothy, they nod their heads as he tells you this.
And where might I find these friends of his?
Oh, well, we know that one runs a clinic, and you can find that outside of the Dung Gate. And we know that Lady Tiffany is a scholar and often visits the different libraries, private collections across town.
I just started having these dreams last night, right? From the earthquake?
Yes. Last night was the first one.
She sounds interesting. Pay her a visit, maybe.
We don't know where to find two of them. There is a Northman among them. He seems to be a holy man, but we don't know where he stays. And there is a Nosferatu among them, but we know they sleep in garbage, and we would not want to find out where they live. But the last one is we believe, brother of Lady Tiffany. They stay in the same spot. We do know where they live. And they give you directions to the clinic and to find Lady Tiffany and her brother. The clinic is in the slums, and Lady Tiffany and her brother live not too far from man, my brain just farted. The Wailing Wall, which is near that area, near the Dung Gate, to the south of where you're currently located.
Which one's closer?
The Dung Gate would technically be closer.
Okay. And you have no knowledge of none of you have knowledge of the Wailing Wall and its significance?
Oh, it's where the old temple of built by King Solomon and David used to be before it was torn down by the Romans. It's a holy place. It is one of the few places in Jerusalem where it is very difficult for a vampire to even approach. There is a legitimate power of God emanating from it that causes harm and discomfort.
Good thing I chose not to sneak up to it. Okay. Well, I shall seek out these companions or friends of his and see what they may be able to tell me.
We will continue to try to console him. And almost on cue, Brother Bernardus lets loose another wail and begins to rock, and then almost collapses into his own lap while adding what seems like an overly dramatic addition of snot. More use of blood that is unnecessary.
Okay.
From there, I'm going to jump to the other person heading in that same direction, to Casper.
It's
Casper.
me.
You make your way out of the Zion Gate. It's just closer to leave the city that way from where you're at, and start to head along the outer wall towards the slums. And it becomes fairly evident that something drastic has happened there. There is a commotion that you can even see from where you're at, of people gathering around the area you know to be Dragomir's clinic.
That can't be good. I should probably investigate. I head that direction.
Are you hurrying?
That kind of hurry where you're trying not to look like you're hurrying, but it's probably pretty obvious.
Gotcha. Give me a manipulation athletics roll. That sounded like a question, but that's what I want. Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
One success. You're pulling it off. You don't look like you're in a hurry, but you're hurrying. I'm going to now go to the person kind of in the middle of it. Oliver.
Yes.
What you doing?
Well, I know two medical professionals in this city. One of them is MIA all of a sudden.
Right.
So I'm gonna go try to find the other. Which
Gotcha.
is. It was Aisha, wasn't it?
Yep, it's Aisha.
Yep.
Okay. What is your plan to extricate yourself from the current situation?
Walk away?
You're just gonna walk calmly away?
I'm gonna carry the guy to the other clinic.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Try to get him some help.
Make a strength athletics check.
As everyone watches me probably drop him on his face.
Quite possible.
Should be light with all that blood not in his body.
Athletics, strength.
One would hope. Nice. 3 successes. As you pick him up, there is a gasp from the people around you, and there is a non-verbal exhalation from his chest. It sounds like a groan, but it's definitely not coming from his mouth. As you heft him into your arms, he as you get him in place and begin to hurry to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, since that is where the hospital is at.
Yeah.
I need you to make a stamina athletics roll to try to hurt, to get there
Damn it.
in time to save him, if possible.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Could have been worse.
Could have been, yes. 2, 3.
A 2 could have been another 1.
For the shits and the giggles, please roll as self-control. No, make it straight willpower instead.
Just do that. Okay. Yep.
As you're hurrying through the streets at what seems like you're in a rush, but it feels like a snail's pace. He starts to look tasty. There is a lot of blood. He might not make it. Hey, stop it.
No kaiju battle yet back there.
Yeah, I didn't close our garage door, so my senior cat's getting a respite from him. You don't feel the urge to eat him. He's just looking tasty.
Okay. I try to go faster.
As you're hurrying along, trying to find the quick paths, relying on your smuggling routes through the town to get there, you catch the attention of a uh, local volunteer guards. They're not any of the Crusaders, but they are the local constabulary, and they seem to know what's up. As they're yelling, as they're approaching, they're yelling, "If do you need help, sir? Can we assist you in getting this man to attention?"
Yes. I need help. Everyone else was just standing around.
One of them says, "This way, follow me," and begins to run. Basically, where in the direction you're heading, but you notice it is a faster route than the way you were taking.
What about the other guy? What's he doing?
Following behind.
I'm going, hey, come on. 4 arms are better than 2.
That is true. You want to open. All right. You can make an assisted strength athletics roll to carry him.
What does that do?
I'm just going to lower the difficulty from 6 to 5 for you.
Okay.
Where's my roll?
I don't know. Where's your
I
roll?
don't either. I rolled his strength athletics. Let's try again. Difficulty 5 roll. There we go. All right, between the two of you, he's an easy carry. Would you please make a perception medicine roll?
Oh, yeah. I got this.
Hey, you're excellent in medicine.
Yeah, my last medicine roll was perfect.
You're great.
Hey, look at that! Jackpot, baby!
I hate all of you so much.
I should be a doctor.
Should be. You might be better than the one you got.
Yep. He kills more people than he saves. Dr. Kevorkian over here.
You give a quick glance down at your baggage. You're not sure you're going to make it. Like, he's been bleeding out for a little too long now, and you can tell that he's losing life, that you can feel it coming from him, that the string of fate that ties him to you and then just ties him to life is beginning to fade before your eyes.
Guys, I don't think we've got too much longer. Or I don't think he's got too much longer.
Your assistance is going to try to run faster. Are you going to put any...
Whatever it would take to keep up with him.
Okay. Not a whole lot then. Just give me a Dex athletics roll.
Ooh, Dex this time.
That's enough. I mean, he seems to be bearing a lot more of the weight at the moment and pulling a little bit ahead, but you're able to keep roughly in step with him. Right. we're going to put this little ambulance
Wee woo, wee
On-
woo,
on
wee
pause.
woo.
Asmodeus. You are the first to arrive at the clinic. There is a crowd. It's not very big. There are guards, or to be more succinct, there are a few local constables and a hospitaler. The constables are out there trying to get a good impression of what happened. The hospitaler seems to be interested inside his clinic, what's going on inside his clinic. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna hang back and kind of just see if I could listen in. And see what's going on.
Okay. Give me a perception alertness roll. That's
7.
pretty good.
Thing is my perception is only a 3, and it's saying that it's a 5.
I see that. That's 2, 3. Do you have Auspex? Yeah, you have Auspex. It's
Oh yeah, that's right.
The hell?
You've no clue what they're saying. It's in French.
Hmm.
You don't speak French.
No.
It doesn't appear to be the two constables' first language either. Like you can tell they're stumbling with it, trying to talk to the hospitaler. But he seems to be just as concerned with a thing on the inside. Give me an intelligence linguistics roll.
One.
You are able to pick up a few words from it. There, just enough lingua franca, the pidgin that's made up of all the different Crusader languages in the area, the temporary hodgepodge of a trade language that's going on. You're able to pick up 2 words. One is femme and the other is belle. You know them to roughly be woman and pretty. But nothing else surrounding them, like whatever it is. You do remember that last night that Oliver and Dragomir brought Tiffany here.
Hmm. Not much else I can do here. I'm gonna stay hidden and keep an eye out and see how it kind of unfolds.
All right. Give me a Dex stealth then to hide. Pretty good.
6 successes.
Pretty good. 6 successes. You're fairly skilled at blending in the shadows, hiding in not quite plain sight, but finding places that people don't really pay a lot of attention to. And you find a section of culvert that has been covered over just so people don't have to walk through it all that much. And there's a bit of overhang from one of the shacks in that area that casts the perfect amount of shadow for you to hunker down into it and be fairly out of everyone's sight. Casper.
And that's where I'll stay until I see someone I recognize show up.
Casper.
Yes.
There is a lot of commotion as you approach the clinic.
Gonna weasel my way through to see what the commotion's about.
Sure. Give me a perception alertness roll. And you can use attentive. What?
One's enough.
And you speak like a ton of languages.
Yeah, it'd be easier if you just asked if I spoke a language.
Uh, you speak it, like you speak French and
Yep.
Hebrew, Arabic. Like you speak enough to be able to pick up from the crowd what's going on. A supposedly a monster with glowing eyes and huge claws and teeth bursts forth from the clinic and attacked an elderly crusader in front of a mother and her child. And from the look of things, this monster may have done something with the clinician. The doctor that lives there is gone. There is a woman inside, unresponsive and cold to the touch. And a man who came out of the clinic, saw the dying crusader and picked him up in his arms like a savior and began to make his way towards the hospitals in town. That's what you're able to pick up from the snippets of everything.
I'm gonna weasel my way a little bit closer, see if I can get through to like go in and see like maybe it. I'm assuming that people have went in since they found Tiffany, which I'm assuming it's Tiffany. So I'm gonna try and get in there so I can try to shoo people away.
Right? Are you just trying to work your way in? Are you being stealthy about it? What's your angle?
I'm pretty big. I'm just gonna I'm gonna force my way through. I'm just gonna like start, make way, make way.
Okay.
I'm probably at least a head taller than everyone here.
Right. Uh, give me a charisma expression roll. Asmodeus, you see Casper. He's
I was getting
beginning
ready to ask that.
to work his way through and is choosing between several different languages to try to get people's attention and move them out of his way. You hear a little French, some Greek. He seems to be saying exactly what he needs to get these people to just move as he approaches the hospitaler. Currently inside of the clinic.
I'll pull my hood down low, hide my hands, and try to move towards the, close to the wall, and try to make my way inside also.
Trying to hide your stealth your way through.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a Dex stealth roll.
Three.
People are a little overly concerned with what just happened and not really paying attention with what's coming in and out of the area. Destin, as you exit through the dung gate, you see this small crowd having gathered along one of the pathways out of the through this slum. There appears to be a couple constables. There's men and women. You can see a blood trail that you're having to walk past. And there is a very large, maybe an albino man, just kind of making his way through the crowd. He looks like he might be a priest, but you can't really see exactly what's got their attention. But the man you see kind of resembles the vague description you were given of one of Bernardus's friends.
I'll move forward.
Let's see. Do we? I mean, do we say what languages you can speak?
I don't know that we ever got to that. But I only had the literacy of 1. I don't know what that.
It would give you Latin and your base language.
That was. I'm from Persia.
So
That could be
Arabic, probably.
Yeah.
or Greek.
Probably Arabic.
Arabic. You can hear amongst them, amongst the crowd, that a monster attacked someone, but not get a real clear idea of sequence events or what happened. But you are able to pick up that the monster did something to the doctor. So you are approaching the clinic.
Yeah, I mean, if the doctor is the one I'm looking for, then I need to know like maybe what happened, and looks like there's one of the friends there, so they might be able to tell me.
Right.
So yeah, I'll just stroll up,
Just
weave in my way through the crowd.
all right. How about a manipulation? Athletics roll to work your way through the crowd. A bit of personality and physicality to it. Your successes. You're able to get through. People see you, and some instantly move out of your way. Others take a little coaxing from someone next to them, but you're able to work your way through without much difficulty. And you come upon two constables trying to ask questions, but seem very confused with what information they're being given. There's a blood puddle. This shack, it looks like something has burst through the front door, and there is a giant, a crusader, and in modern terms, a walking trash bag. Just kind of right there at the door, and the crusader has his back to the other two and yourself, and doesn't seem to notice them at the moment as he's messing with something just inside this doorway. So
I'll wait to see what the two do.
okay, giant trash bag. What you guys doing?
I'm gonna use the air of I belong here, and I'm just gonna like go past the guy in the way and just go inside.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Jedi mind trick him.
Sure. What about yourself, Asmodeus?
When he shoves his way in, I'll just kind of try to wisp in behind him.
Okay. All right.
I'll say, "I've got this, my son," as I walk past him.
Just nod.
Okay. The two of them just seem to walk in behind the crusader. As soon as you say, "I've got this, my son," he stops, like stands up straight and turns around, and then pales for a brief moment as he's forced to look up. You're tall, but you're ginormous for back then.
Yeah, I'm about 7 inches taller than the average person in this area, and an albino.
So in French, he says, I'm sorry, Father. There's been a murder, and with the victim seeking assistance elsewhere with help, there's little you can do here. Unless there's another. And he motions, and there on a table is Tiffany. And he says, I am uncertain if she lives.
This is the only person here? I'm like looking inside.
Yeah, there's no one else. This is the only person here. The doctor is missing. Some man chased whatever.
Because I've heard that it was a large dog. That's what all the commotion is saying. Must have been a very vicious one. We should probably clear the area just in case it was rabid.
All right.
I've heard they start to foam, and we don't want to scare it with this large crowd of people. You should probably shoo everyone away.
Give me
I'll take everything in here. I'll look at this.
a manipulation subterfuge. You are a priest, and he is a crusader, so we'll make the difficulty 5 with your 1 die.
Sweet. I knew that bearing of holiness was going to come in. You said manipulation, subterfuge. Yep. Yeah.
A 10. He clears his throat, adjusts himself, says, of course, I'll go check on the man. And he steps out and he barks a few orders, and the 2 constables look very confused, and a few of the people scatter. And he walks right past you, Dastan, seemingly following the blood trail, and the crowd begins to disperse as the 2 volunteer guardsmen try to shoo people away.
I'll step into the clinic after they dispersed and those other 2 have headed further in to the clinic.
Okay. It is quite close to 11. I'm
Yeah, that's
going
fine.
to call it there. It's a good spot to start with introductions next time. I give out experience, or have been giving out experience at the end of every game, with a few exceptions. Everyone gets 3, except for
Tiffany.
Poor Dragomir. You suffered greatly, not only in your own roles, but having to watch the great roles of others. I'm going to give you 4.
What the hell?
man.
I want bad rolls now.
Did I succeed on 1 tonight? I don't think I did. I don't think until the end there, I guess. Yeah, I had 1 success, I think, but
Yep. So
that was good.
as is our usual, if you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitch, please come back again. I tend to end these with a question. Last time was, if you could talk to someone from this time, the 12th century, the 1100s, who would it be? This time we're going to go with, if there was someone you didn't want to run into in a back alley at this time, who would it be? Until then,
Dragomir, probably.
and don't play in the dark.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Laters.